Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is September 5th, 2023, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the US dollar advances already going into September. Historically speaking, the US dollar does rally during the month of September. Now, welcome back everybody from an extended weekend. Yesterday was Labor Day, so the US markets were closed. There's no major economic events scheduled for today. And as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, US dollar advances versus specifically Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. The other ones might be picking up later, but we'll take a look at that in just a second. And looking at the indices, both the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones remain unchanged. As we look at commodities, gold is steady, while oil breaking higher from its resistance level to $85 a barrel. Now looking at the stocks, tech stocks were mixed. Tesla dips and sells off, while CISCO remains steady close to its highs. Lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains flat. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. Here we go. Even starting with the euro, you can see that the dollar is getting stronger. 107.63-ish right now. And looking at a daily, it did break below that 200-day moving average, which is really important. And you see it continuously closing on its lows. So it does look like it wants to break lower. Now, 107-ish level is a support-ish area. We're about 63 pips away from that, so no big deal there, but a decent play if it does break out. Now, jumping into Canadian dollar, this is where it gets really interesting because it's on resistance-ish level. 136 is where it's at. So this is really important. And as we're going into just the beginning month of September, the dollar strengthening versus Canadian dollar, it may break out and give us that push higher to maybe even 140 if it does break higher. Now looking at the Japanese yen, also breaking lower versus the dollar, 146. You could see that on a 4-hour chart. On a daily, it's there. I mean, we did spike last week to 147-ish level, but really, we got to look at a weekly. It's really close to its all-time lows versus the dollar. Now jumping into commodities, gold remains unchanged. Well, 1935, no big deal. But as we look at crude oil, look at that, breaking above that $84 level, which was resistance. Okay, so that is a bona fide breakout, and we closed into it. And we closed into it strong. Now, we didn't close into it with a lot of volume. And remember, we did have hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, in Florida area, which disrupts the transport of oil, and that is what causes this price to spike. So keep that in mind as this market continues to slide. Now looking at the US markets, okay, the Dow Jones didn't do much, 34,800, and so did the NASDAQ, just really unchanged day to day. Now the stocks are another story, okay? Let's take a look at Tesla. Did dip quite aggressively, 258 to 244. That's a 14-buck move in just one day. Could be just people taking some money off the table after it came back to its 50% level. 262 was at 50% level, so keep that in mind. Now looking at the other stocks, Apple did continue gaining, okay? Did have a doji on the upside, okay, 189, but we got to keep an eye on what's going to happen in the next, I would say, 2 weeks, because volume is going to start picking up again, and the market's going to be trading quite aggressively again. I'm looking at CISCO on its dead highs, 57.80, doesn't give it up. Really strong, and this is a bellwether, so this is really an important stock, an important component. And lastly, look at Bitcoin. We had that spike up last week, and then we had the fade, which happens when things are news driven. Boom. This was a easy layup, easy money on the table. Could have taken advantage of it. Next time it's when the market goes high, spike to a news event, and then a correction move on the flip side. So that's exactly what happened here. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.